Um, um, um,
This is your pilot, Clicky Thingy speaking. I would like to remind everyone that saying "oh" in the chat is specifically forbidden on this flight. Thank you. God damn it.
okay. Um,
Oh my god, just so nice to see all of you here.
Hello. How are you doing? I promise I will never do that voice ever again. Welcome in. I do hope you enjoy your stay. Thank you so much for joining this beautiful little live on a chill Monday. I just got back from the gym, stuffed myself with way too much food, and now I'm gonna sit and read Reddit stories together with you all, hopefully not burping too much, and I picked up some like old school classic Swedish soda on the way home because I need my sugar because I am very old and very dusty. And I know a lot of people in the chat get upset when I say that because they're like, "Click, you're not that old." Don't what's like dismiss my sense of aging or something like that. Something outraged. Anyway, Click is old. Thank you so much, chat. You really know how to support me. I am finally here on time. Welcome in, AmITheA. I hope you enjoy your stay. Navina, thank you so much for being a lasso. You beautiful bean. Swedish soda sounds tasty. Hell yeah. It's literally just called sugar drink. That's the name of the soda. Can you believe it? It's really old school. It's called sockerdricka. It's just water and sugar. Now, it has like a bit of flavor. It's pretty similar. If I remember this correctly, I had this like at my granny's place when I was like a kid. Hold on. It's relatively similar to Sprite, but a bit less limey. So basically sugar and water. Hell yeah. So when will you be gaming again? Oh, I should game something soon. I have found myself playing more and more games like on my own when I'm just relaxing and having a cute time. The most recent thing I did while playing games was play Fallout 76, which is one of those games similar to like No Man's Sky, which got a lot of flack when it came out, but then a few years later it's actually like a really fun game. I don't know why, I keep getting sucked into games like that. It's pretty interesting. But anyway, I found a bridge with like a stream under, and I built a base that is like integrated with the bridge. So it's like a bunker that is under a bridge, and there's a stream that goes through it, and it's really cute. And that's how I made my base. Anyway, I spent way too much time doing that. Ooh! My friend texted me. We're gonna bench press tomorrow. låter mys. Heart emoji. Jag är på. Fuck yeah. I got a bench friend tomorrow. Hell yeah, gonna do fucking bench press, bro. That's good. So yeah, anyway. Goals, baby. So yeah, I built a really cute bass in Fallout 76. His voice is very calming. Anyone else? Oh yes, why do you think I have headphones so I can hear myself talking? It's all for me. Y'all are just along for the ride. Can you imagine? You just make videos for yourself. Oh, hell yeah. Those are goals. Hi, The Click, my comfort YouTuber. I was waiting for your next stream. They are perfect for watching while studying. Hey, I hope you suck up a lot of knowledge. Hell yes. Thank you so much, Draconia, for being a noble lasso, and thank you, Jackie, for being a noble lasso. Building Gundam models today. Perfect company. Looking forward to today's stream. Heck yes. Welcome in. I do hope the building goes well. Click is also good looking. Oh my god. Chad is really gonna make me blush today. Oh yes, indeed. I just came out of the shower, so I even look like a little bit scruffy. It's absolutely amazing. You make my day when I am not fully there. But now you're fully here, and that's something I really appreciate. Thank you for being my favorite YouTuber. I mean, thank you for having a good taste in YouTubers. Chad riz him. Chad is rizzing me hard. Oh my god, you know, this is why I keep streaming. I just come on and I'm like, you know, I'm feeling a bit like low-key down today, you know. Had a long day at ye old office, which is right here, and you know, you looked in the mirror, had a couple of pimples, not feeling too hot today. Then I just come into my chat and they're like, what up, Click? Allow me to riz you for a bit. And I'm like, oh, little old me? Wow. Jessica, thank you so much for being a royal lasso, Jessica. Hi, Click. Was just watching Insane Parents Bingo, and now you're streaming. Yay. I do hope you enjoy your staybacks. Yes, indeed. I should do a bingo video again soon. I was letting it rest for a bit because I made a lot of bingo videos, and I'm like letting it naturally recharge, so to say, like the excitement can just bubble back up. Mass, thank you so much for a why is it in Swedish? Presentmedlemskap. It's like a gift of membership. Thank you so much for the presentmedlemskap. I don't see any pimples, but I am sure they are very good-looking pimples too. Well, you see, if we really zoom the... Okay, we don't need to do that. We don't need to see every single pore in my face. It's fine. I actually remember, this is like a little bit of a funny story. The very first time I ever made a video with a face cam, I was probably like... How old was I? Like probably 16, 17-year-old. Something like that, right? When I started my channel, it was like 2009, and I didn't show my face initially, but I did at some point, right? I don't even think that video is up anymore. It's like unlisted, or it's maybe deleted. I don't remember. But I do remember, I was like 16, 17, and I was pretty pimply when I was 16, 17 years old. My pimples started clearing up when I was like 19, partially because I used like a cream for it, which was really good. Anyway, when I made my very first face cam video, the camera was pretty shitty, right? But I actually purposefully put on an extra blur filter on it, because then the pimples weren't as visible. I just like remember that. That's like a bit of a teenager throwback. That was before, you know, AI face filters or whatever. Ah, bruh. What acne products do you use, Click? I mean, nowadays I don't use any acne products, but when I was a teenager and actually had a decent chunk of acne, I remember I used a brand called Basiron. I'm not sure if that tells you anything. Maybe it's a Swedish brand. I don't know. But that's what I used. And it's like a little cream. You're supposed to avoid sun when you use it, so use it like in the evening. And that worked really well for me, at least. It was really good. So, hell yeah. Thank you so much, Zaza, for the 23 months. Actually, we need to see every pore on your face. That's a lot of riz right there. Chat be like, Click, can I try to riz you up? Sure, please, 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 please. I mean, you know, by every please, you know, statistically speaking, if it's not 0, if you just say please enough, then eventually. Little Cindy, thank you so much for the 10 gifted memberships, you beautiful bean. Hell yes. Show us the pores. Dear God. Click, you have the best frequencies. Oh, speaking of which, I see a post right here which talks about frequencies. Oh my god, chat. Look at this story right here. It's like r/AmITheButthole. I made a stream where I talked about frequencies and my chat was derailing for 25 minutes straight. Am I the butthole? Do you want to read some frequency stories, chat? Do you want to read some fucking frequencies? Oh, frequencies, baby! Unleash the frequencies. Ah. Oh, yes, indeed. Cinda, thank you so much for 16 months. Hell yes. Having a bad day. Happy to see you stream. Welcome, and I do hope the day gets better. Hello, Click, making fan art of you and have a question. What is your favorite Skyrim location? Oh, my God. Thank you so much for the 20. Oh, that's a good question. I mean, stereotypically, I have definitely owned houses the most times in Whiterun, but that's pretty basic. What did I do? Ooh, let me think. This is a good question. This is a good... Like, where do I vibe the most? I do remember I downloaded a really cool mod once for the College of Winterhold, and I, like, vibed there. I was like, you know, some fucking cursed Harry Potter character, but actually good. And, yeah. Say College of Winterhold. That's pretty cool. I like that, because I'm Swedish, and there's always snow here. You know? Hell yeah. I remember the very first time I played the college quest line, I had made a warrior character on that playthrough, and I was pretty high level by the time I found it, right? I was running around with like Daedric armor and a big greatsword, you know, I was pretty overpowered. And I remember I played through the entire quest line, and I didn't cast a single spell. It was like, alright class, let's go into this mine and use our spells to explore. Ka-dang, ka-dang, ka-dang. It was amazing. It was amazing. I'm playing Oblivion Remastered. It's pretty fun. I should really pick it up. Played it as a sneaky archer. Yeah, I try to avoid sneaky archers, but I never managed to. I remember one time, one of the most recent characters I made a couple of years ago, I was trying to make an alchemy character. And after about a couple hours, I was like, I'm so annoyed by trying to find herbs all the time that fit together. And it turned into a stealth archer. You know? It always turns into a stealth archer. Just showing my 1-year-old cousin click. Oh my god, that is amazing educational content. Very nice. Yeah, that sounds very clicky. Just attacking and not spellcasting like he should. I'm a bit of a rascal. Do you play Zelda games at all? I do. I haven't played any of the new ones, but it was one of my favorite series when I was younger. I have a bunch of Zelda games on like emulators and stuff. My two favorite ones is definitely Wind Waker and Twilight Princess. Those are my two faves. They are really good. Which Zelda game did you play? Oh, I answered it because of the chat delay. Ha! Now you get to enjoy it. Lori Law, thank you so much for being a last, you beautiful I am with my teddy bear, Paddington. He's my best friend. That's a very fancy name. Do you also speak to him like this? Oh my god, Mr. Paddington, it's time to go to heckin' Bedlands. Oh my master, do you wish to have a wee bit of a royal snuggie, eh? Oh, Paddington, I never thought you would ask. Gay, lol. Is Paddington gay? Is Paddington gay? I think Paddington is pretty gay-coded, I'm gonna be honest. But I also like Skyward Sword. I hate the motion controls, but love the story. I mean, there are a lot of amazing Zelda games, to be honest. Would you play indie games on stream? I have, and I probably will in the future as well. Anyway, perchance, should you perchance play some Zelda? Persabi, Mashab. Wasn't Paddington a bear a series as a child? Was it gay? Anyway, Kim, thank you for the 22, and oh my god, so much at once. Thank you so much for the 10. If an Oblivion portal opened outside a Waffle House, would they fight the Daedra back as fast or faster than the portal in Black Marsh? Yeah, that depends on the time of day, I guess. You know? Waffle House doesn't really mean anything to me. I'm assuming it's American. I guess it depends on time of day and how drunk people are, you know? Hi, Clicky. Being a bandit, this is hi. Being the bandit. Oh, that's actually, say you pet them, pet the shit out of them, pet them. Click. Your videos are always so fun to watch, and this is my first time getting a chance to be part of the stream from the very start. Hey, welcome in. I'm very happy to have you here. Let's get rolling with some stories. Look at this one. 4 days ago, 26,000 upvotes. Then you know it's a doozy. Hell yes. Am I the butt for not disclosing that I am not Christian? To preface this, I do commissioned artwork. Oh my god, then it's gay. And don't discriminate against any subject unless it's racist, homophobic, otherwise hateful, sexually disturbing. I did a commissioned art piece with Christian iconography, a beautiful ornate cross, a saint scripture in calligraphy. The client was happy with my work, paid me, and then asked me what my favorite scripture was. Whoops! I was honest and just said, oh, I don't really have one, because I'm not a Christian and wouldn't really know which one I would like. He became upset and told me that he felt lied to because I have posted artwork of Christian subjects before, and he assumed I would be Christian. Did you really commission someone based on, like, their perceived belief, instead of just, I don't know, genuinely enjoying their style of artwork? I think your priorities with, like, recruiting commissions is a little bit off. Bruh. Man, I love your commission, but you're not Christian enough. Oh my god. Is this Leonardo da Vinci posting here on Reddit? Yeah, we'll find out, I suppose. He said the art doesn't hold the same spiritual value because it wasn't made with faithful intention. I was kind of unsure what to say. I said, I'm sorry you feel that way. I would never apologize for this. Oh my god. I would say, I'm sorry you're silly and stupid. But I do artwork for everyone, and I am open doing Christian artwork because it's for the client, not me. That's actually a pretty good clapback. It's like, it has spiritual value for you, because the person who requested it sees it as something spiritual and valuable, so it has spiritual value. Bruh. Should I be disclosing if I don't share a certain faith when commissioned to do artwork for it? No? Jesus Christ, this is just like... Oh my god. This is just discrimination with extra steps. I mean, this would be a discrimination case if this was like at a company or whatever, you know? I mean, in this context, I don't think you could really make a fuss for it because it's just like a commission piece, you know, whatever. But if this was like at an actual company or, you know, any sort of like more formal context, this would be ground for like discrimination lawsuits, man. This is so dumb. Chat is saying not the butt. Oh my god. Your religion or lack of religion is no one's business but your own. Yeah, that's how it should be. That's how it should be. Def not the butthole. His job is to draw the commissions. Yeah, indeed. It's kind of weird. And it's also, if it's such a big deal, right? It's weird that they didn't ask. If it's really like, oh my god, I need another Christian to carve out this piece of Christianity, otherwise it doesn't have enough value. It's like, if that is so important to the commission, then maybe you should ask. You know, it's also that. Even if it was something else, it's probably good to ask. Denny, thank you so much for being a lasso. And D. Langley, thank you so much for being a lasso. As a Christian, I agree not the butthole. What kind of concept is that? I wonder if this person has the same thing in other places. You know, you go through a McDonald's drive-thru and it's like, are you a believer? Does this little sweaty cheeseburger have enough spiritual power in it? No? Then I'm not gonna pay for this. Disgusting. Yeah, this is pretty much. Well, let's see what the comments say. You don't discriminate, but apparently they do. Lemau, yeah, this is what I mean. This would just be a discrimination lawsuit waiting to happen if this was like any other context. You know, it's absolutely wild. I love it. Educational fact: bananas take in moisture and release it in form of energy. It goes unnoticed unless you work in retail and have a full pallet of them. They get wet and hot. Also not the butt. Oh, I thought we were talking about bananas in context of butts. You mean the story? Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Thank you so much for the 10, you beautiful bean. In all fairness, I'm a metalhead flavor Christian, so maybe I am weird. I mean, I think we're all a little bit weird. I'm gonna be on. I had this conversation with my gym buddies, and 2 days later, I had the same conversation with another one of my friend group I met in uni. And both conversations were basically the same. It's like, hey, do you guys think we hang out because we're all weird? And we just found each other because we're kind of weird? And everyone's just like, yeah. Like, one of my friends literally told me a story about how he was bullied in high school for 3 years. and he didn't realize until the last month in his 3rd year when one of like the popular kids came up to him and said, "You know that we've been trying to bully you for 3 years, like, right?" And he was like, "Oh, okay." Such a fucking power move, man. It was like the very kind of passive-aggressive kind of bullying, I think, where it's like, let's specifically not invite them to our party because they're not cool enough. And we're just like, oh, I'm not invited to the party? Sweet. We have a games night where we're playing Smash Bros. Anyway, hell yeah. Lord, please don't find my Reddit thirst account. You sent $100 Canadian to say that. Thank you for the $100 Canadian. I'll spend it on like a solid 7 pineapple pizzas. Thank you so very much. That's way too generous. But it's also very concerning and out of context. I'm a little bit concerned if there's going to be a thirst trap later on, and it's like a AmITheA butthole for posting a thirst trap in r/AmITheA butthole only for it to show up in a click video. Dear God. AmITheA bot for exposing my sister's fake cancer to our parents after she refused to come clean herself. The funny thing is that, imagine if this title has nothing to do with like coming clean as in admitting it. It's like, after she refused to be clean herself. She refused to shower for a week, so I exposed her fake cancer. Sorry, what? Oh, here is one that Oz also covered. Oh, hell yeah, then we can see if I disagree with Ozzy Wazzy. Ooh, woo. So let's see. The sister is faking cancer, and the other sibling said, like, nah. I mean, that seems like a reasonable thing to do. I, 34F, just found out that my sister, 31F, who has been telling my whole family she has cancer for the last 8 months, has been lying. She shaved her head, said she was doing chemo, and had her parents move in to help her through treatment. I started to have doubts when, besides also staying out late relatively frequently, she would never let anyone attend appointments with her, and she clearly had way too much energy from someone going through aggressive chemotherapy. Last week, I ran into the office manager of my sister's an oncologist at an office shop, small town. I casually mentioned my sister, and the office manager was confused. She had no idea who I was talking about. I did some digging through doctors and spoke to my sister about what I learned, and she broke down and spilled her guts. So you... Wait, so this... So this sister went through the process of faking serious illness, shaving her own head, making up a whole little conspiracy about it, all to, like, make her parents move in and take care of her household for her. She faked cancer to basically become a kid again. Am I getting this right? That's insane, man. Oh my God. It turns out she fabricated the story because she was way in over her head with debt and wasn't able to afford her apartment anymore. Yes, indeed. Oh my God. I made poor financial decisions, and now I am in debt, and I am struggling with rent. What do you do? What else? Fake cancer. Nailed it. You've got to be disturbed to do this. Yeah. And also imagine doing this. You know, doing this in any context is pretty whack, right? But imagine doing this. This is like your go-to solution. You haven't like asked for help or, you know, moved back in with your parents until you're back on your feet, or rent a smaller place, or, you know, nothing like that. Like the normal shit, you know, or taking a roommate. I don't know, man. I don't know. Any of those things. Like, normal solutions are just completely out the window. Instead, we're like straight to good old fake cancer. Hell yeah. The cancer story got our parents to move in, and she could then stop paying her bills. I was furious and told her that she had 24 hours to tell our parents the truth, or I would. She asked me not to tell them because it would ruin her relationship with them. She did not tell them. So yesterday, I took everything to our parents. Our parents are heartbroken. Can you imagine showing up for someone you think is like really seriously ill? This story is so fake. You think so? You think so? Maybe. I mean, I could definitely see someone being this whack. You know, some people kind of like crash out when they're like facing that sort of stress for the first time in their life. So I can sort of see this happening, you know? people faking illnesses and stuff like that isn't like unheard of. So I don't know. It's like, it might be a creative writing assignment. It could also happen. It's one of those things where it's like, meh. And my sister is acting like I had no right to out her, and she didn't even say this to our parents. She was going to stage a miraculous recovery next month. Oh boy. Oh boy. She said I ruined her life and that family should be trying to defend each other rather than expose each other. But what about the parents? Aren't they also family? What?
Family family should defend each other, especially when one family member is lying about a serious medical condition to get other people to pay their bills. Those are the times you should really defend family. Fuck yeah.
That's great. HIPAA is main reason I think this is creative writing, but everyone else I can see really going down, so I mean, I can see this bypassing it, I suppose. But I don't know, man. Digging through doctors, I don't know. I don't know. The parents need to change the locks if this is real. Yeah. Didn't the orange poo stain do exactly this last week? I can't even keep up with all the stuff the poo stain does, to be honest.
Oh my god, today I feel like crashing the stock market again. It's absolutely great. Oh my god, tariffs at 5 billion% for Canada. Canada doesn't want to be our 51st state. Better have 5 billion% tariffs. Do you know that Canada export all their snow to us? So that's...
It's just yapping. Oz thinks it's fake because why would doctors tell someone patient info? Yeah, that's one of the like things. But it also could be... I mean, you know, it's also that kind of thing like, you know, small town. I'm not sure if it's American, you know. If it's like someplace where they're not super serious about HIPAA, small town, you know, you bump into the local doctors and shit, like, I can sort of see that, but some of it is also very convenient, right? Some of it is also very convenient. So, meh. But it doesn't actually say it's in the US, right? So I don't know. Not the butt for telling them, but you were a tiny bit of a butt for not demanding that you tell parents immediately, like within 15 minutes. 24 hours is too long to be deceived thinking your child is dying. Meh. So, yeah, oh yeah, here's a good comment. So the doctors just casually broke HIPAA for you so you could expose your sister. Of course, the office manager acted like she had no idea who your sister was. That's how you normally act when someone's asking about one of your asking about one of your patients. Since you can't acknowledge you know anything about their medical history at all. Not the butt for making sister come clean, but I don't buy the story. Yeah, that's true. So if this... yeah, that sort of like leans into it being fake. Did OP reply to this comment? So OP replied to this comment, but not that one. Or did the OP reply to it? I need to check if OP replied to comment. It's only 2 days ago. All right, let's take a gander. I know, right? I'm still in shock. Okay, comments. It's basically a throwaway. I'm still in shock. It's completely messed up. What did they reply to? What the frick did I just read? Okay, so they completely ignored the HIPAA comments. But replied to a couple of... Yeah, okay, that gives me the vibe it's fake. It's one thing if they had like an excuse that, you know, oh, we don't actually live in the US. We live in like a little shitty town somewhere where no one takes this stuff seriously. It's like, okay, then I could like sort of buy it, you know? Yeah, but no. Fake. This is an update. Am I the butthole for refusing to go to my sister's wedding after finding out only our side of the family were having to pay to attend? Oh, I remember. I think we read this in a previous stream. If I do remember correctly, it turned out that they were charging quite a lot of money for the family side because the other side of the family was too broke. It was like a destination wedding. And then they found out that only they were paying. And it's like, oh, but the other ones couldn't come if you're not paying for everyone. But then it's like, don't do a destination wedding then. So that was basically the context if I remember it, so let's see. I've had a lot of messages. So in short, I didn't end up going to the wedding. Katie and Chris basically harassed me constantly until a few days before we were due to fly, and I received a belligerent voicemail from Katie saying if I didn't go, I wasn't her sister anymore. I was embarrassing myself, her and Chris. I was a horrible person, and most shockingly, if I didn't go, then her and Chris wouldn't be paying me or my parents back for the money we loaned. So trying to blackmail me, basically. She would say it was a gift. I faked the contract, and I wouldn't have to take her to court. She was clearly drunk at the time. The voicemail was left the night she was having her at-home hen do, which I obviously didn't attend. What a nice, like, I'm guessing this is like a bachelorette party or something like that, hen do, so it's... That's how you spend it, calling people while angry drunk. Man, that's great. That's great. Hell yeah. But it was so beyond anything I thought she was capable of. I ended up sharing it with my parents, so they also reluctantly pulled up attending. I heard through friends and family in attendance at the wedding after her and Chris were telling everyone I had alienated her from her family and told lies to her parents. We gifted money and accepted them to pay for us, etc., and they made the decision to uninvite myself and my husband. Bruh. As I mentioned in my post, I had my brother-in-law, solicitor, drop a contract for a payment for both myself and my parents. What was supposed to be the first repayment date passed without word from either of them. So brother-in-law picked up from there. His attempts to reach them were ignored apart from one email from what I think was a fake law firm outlining the money was gifted. The contract was fraudulent and to take them to court. In response to that, brother-in-law sent a copy of the voicemail Katie left and final... Did they actually go through with the wedding though? Did they do that? Did they go through with the wedding? Outlining the payment plan was now null and void, and we wanted the money in full 30 days, or we would indeed be going to court. Magically, the full amount appeared on our accounts 5 days later. It's funny how that works. It's funny how that works, isn't it? Again, I've heard through the grapevine that since the wedding, they did go through with the wedding. They've been telling anyone who would listen we asked for our gift back out of the blue and disowned them for how much of a difficult financial situation they are in because of this. So that's that. I can't see myself having a relationship with her after this, which is devastating, but at the same time, I truly believe now after everything, it isn't my fault. Yeah, it just sounds like people being super entitled about wild stuff and then consequences. Great. Angela, thank you so much for being a last, you beautiful bean. First time on a live. Hello, everyone. Hello, welcome in. I do hope you enjoy your stay. Yes, indeed. Off-topic question, but how does one become a member? There should be a little $ symbol that says, like, show support for click, and there you can become member. My God. Only if you want to. Only if you want to. It's not mandatory. Sure, you're not AI. I mean, to be fair, I have enough videos on the channel now. Maybe I can use like a training AI to just like clone me. And the AI will also make up Reddit stories. It's like, welcome back to r/AmITheBot. And it just like uses training data from Reddit too, and everything is fake. And it's just like an infinite content farm. And no one can tell. Isn't that great? Isn't that great? Am I the butthole for asking my partner stop telling me to lower your volume? No buttholes here. Oh, that's a little bit of a new one. No buttholes? Hell yes. Sometimes when I get excited about a topic, I naturally start speaking louder than usual. Not shouting, just louder than normal conversation level. The thing is, I don't realize I'm doing it in the moment. When this happens, my partner will often interrupt me mid-sentence to ask me to lower my volume. I don't think they mean in a rude way, and I understand they probably just want the conversation to stay at a comfortable volume, that's fair. But every time it happens, I feel demoralized and a little self-conscious. I lose my enthusiasm and no longer feel like talking about the thing I was excited about. Even if they don't mean it harshly, it still feels dismissive and discouraging. I'm trying to explain how it makes me feel, but they still keep interrupting me. Am I the butthole for wanting them to stop interrupting me like that? Or do I just need to accept that I should keep my volume in check? Even if it's hard, because I don't always realize when I'm doing it. Oh my god, this is... Okay, so anyway, this happens to me sometimes, because I have a relatively powerful voice, and especially if I have been, for example, recording videos or doing something else that requires you to be a bit explosive, Then I sometimes talk too loud, even after I'm done with the recording and stuff. And on occasion, I've been told to like, oh my God, can you talk a little bit lower? You know? But this is a very small issue, one way or another. No one is really the butthole. If the interruption itself is the frustration, I would say that maybe you can come up with like a small signal, where just like, you know, a signal you can do without literally interrupting someone. You know, that's pretty good. That's what I would say, at least. But I don't think this is like a super big issue one way or another. I would say that's a pretty good way to overcome it. Just something, a small signal, you know, like lower volume, you know, something like that. That just allows your partner to signal that is at an uncomfortable volume without literally having to interrupt you. That would be my advice. Listening to these while doing my VTuber avatar, hell yes. Click is AI, and that's why he stopped aging at 20. Oh my God, you're gonna make me blush. Imagine in 30 years from now when people are like, wait a second, Clicky still looks like suspiciously 20, 30-ish years old. But he should be about 65 now. Oh, what the shit? Finally, an AmITheA butthole story that isn't complete chaos. I know, right? It's a nice refresher, isn't it? But yeah, I think this one is just like, there is no butthole here, really. Being excited about something and talking a bit louder, it happens. Also, like, not realizing that I might be uncomfortable for someone else. It happens. Yeah, I think you can just, like, make up a little signal so it doesn't get, like, interruptive. I've had hearing loss as a kid, and after I got tubes in, I had to relearn an inside voice, so I feel this OP. Yeah, I mean, I work with, like, talking loud and powerful. Even when I'm sitting like this, talking sort of relaxed, it's still much more oomph behind it than when you just talk normally in a room with people. So sometimes I know I do that if I go and vibe with people right after I've been recording or streaming. Then I'm like, hi everyone, how are you doing? You know, I still have my stage voice. And sometimes I have to be told, like, you can't have stage voice, it's only two of us. My kids have baby ESDs on their school bags. That is amazing. Oh, that is so cool. Hell yes. Click is not AI, it is Satan preserving him. That's also perfectly valid. Hell yes, I love that. Oil. Oh, I remember you. Your name was Ollie, and I read it as Oil, and then you named yourself Oil to make me feel good about my dyslaxativeness. That is amazing. Welcome back in Oil. I remember you. Hostile Crayon, thank you so much for 30 months. Dang, been here a while. Love you, Clicky. Welcome in. I do hope you enjoy your stay. Am I the bot for thinking Click is immortal and will never age past like 32? I mean, I would like to. I mean, he's only 19. What are you talking about? To be fair, I am getting to the age now where it's a bit like 50-50 if I have to show my ID at the liquor store or not. Sometimes they let me pass without showing it now. But I think it depends on a couple of factors, right? I think it depends if I have shaved, and it depends on what I'm buying. I have realized that if I buy something which is like obviously more mature, so to say, you know, just a nice bottle of wine, or like a small bottle of a champagne that's obviously a gift, you know, if I buy something like that, they don't really bother checking my ID. But if I buy like 3 bottles of vodka, or like 2 stacks of beer, then I get ID'd. So I think I'm like right on the cusp, you know? Right on the cusp. It's a dice throw. Just remember, are we gonna see regular mango? What? What do you mean? I'm confused. I don't know what this means. I mean, I have regular mangoes all around me. Click angels like Millwood. Yes. I don't know what that is. I'm 36, and even when I was 19, I never got ID'd. I mean, to be fair, I had a buddy of mine who was literally going bald, who shaved all his hair and had a full-on beard when he was 16. He could literally buy booze for us when he was 16. It was amazing. Am I the butt for expecting tequila in the margaritas? Depends on the context. If you're talking about like a restaurant, yeah. My 35M wife, 33F, got invited to a party at her coworker's house. Okay, so it's just like a house party. I thought it was like a restaurant, you know? It's like Yeah, I would probably expect my margarita to have tequila, but I don't know, man. I reluctantly went because the only person I would know was my wife. I mean, that's fun. You get to know new people. Embrace your inner little extrovert goblin. Oh, do you like my cosplay Harley Quinn? It got no filters, etc. My son, do you like... I'm not sure if I've seen it. Or do you mean the profile picture? Oh, that looks really cool. My son introduced me to you when he was like 12. Now 19 and I'm 44? God damn, the time. I guess it's the one in the profile picture. That looks really cool. Hell yeah, that looks really cool. I'm super happy to hear that. It sounds amazing. Okay, well, yeah, you could probably find someone to vibe with. Or if they have a cat. Oh my god, I was at a friend's place because they had like a little party, you know, a barbecue party, and they have cats. And one of the cats is literally a rescue from Ukraine, and it's the snuggliest little poo-poo ever. It's absolutely amazing. So at one point after I snuggled with it twice already, I picked it up and put it in my lap when I was sitting in the couch, and it like stretched out all over me, and I was petting it for like 30 minutes. God, I was covered in hair. It was so worth it. Man, good. It's so good. Everyone loves that cat. Sorry, I meant mango in the makeshift store. I mean, probably at some point. We do some reruns a little now and then, but we don't have any plans right now because we have a few other plushies on the horizon. Why are we telling our ages like some kids? Yeah, don't say your age in the chat if you're not like an adult, okay? There's many weird people online, alright? And they're everywhere, sadly. This is a relatively new job for her, and wanted to be able to meet and mingle with her coworkers outside of work. Her understanding of it was we didn't need to bring anything but ourselves. It reminds me of the Game of Thrones meme. I am the gift. We show up, and it seems like a lively party. Pool with a bar area, music playing. They had a margarita machine and a ton of food. Margarita machine? Man, shedding love from Poland. Hey, welcome in. Click is going to steal all the floofs. I will steal the floofs. My wife got to talking, so I excused myself to grab a drink. The margarita machine was calling my name, so I filled a cup and grabbed my wife a margarita. I went back to my wife, started drinking, and realized there wasn't any tequila in it. That's where I noticed no alcohol being around. Oh my god, I have to get through this social setting without alcohol. Oh no! God, Azir, thank you so much for the 1. Binging your videos to get over a tough breakup. I hope you feel better soon. Thank you so much for the 2. The host was tending to the machine. I asked her if there was any tequila. She looks at me confused and then says, there is no tequila. I said, oh, I thought this was a party. I mean, okay, I would also be a bit surprised if I didn't know, but I also would not make a fuss about it, if I'm gonna be honest. Bruh. We had a saying back in uni, which was, you can have fun without alcohol as well. I made a better version of it, which was like, you can be bored as shit even when you're drunk, which I think is a bit more fun. The other one sounds very like Boy Scouty. I guess I can't reveal my age as I haven't grown up yet, lol. Hey, mentally 12. For real. Good, theclick. Did you pick out a fave alright transformer yet? I think you would like a TFA Blitzwing. I don't even know what you're talking about. Thank you so much for the 5. Lady, thank you so much for the Royal Lasso. I haven't heard anything of Cerberus Duck for a while. Did it turn out to be unworkable in design? Haven't actually gotten that far, to be honest. I've been focusing on the pool party ESD for now, so I'll probably pick it back up after that is done. That's basically the update for now. So I still hope it works, but I printed a few demos, and all of them look pretty bleh. But I still really want it to work because it's amazing and I love it. But man, it's difficult. She takes offense and says that it is just a dry one. I awkwardly left it at that. I poured out my drink and grabbed some water. The host asked if there was anything wrong with it. I said I wasn't interested in drinking straight sugar. I walked back to my wife, kept it to myself, and ate some food for the few hours we were there. Made it back to my wife. It made it back to my wife that I was an asshole to the host. Caused a minor argument. Was I, though? Yeah. I mean, even if you're gonna pour out the drink, look, here's the thing, okay? I can sort of understand it. Like, I probably wouldn't be very interested in a virgin margarita either, if I'm gonna be honest. But it's like, it's the way you do it, okay, bro? It's the way you do it. Like, if I had a drink like this and I realized, oh, this was non-alcoholic, and it's just salt and sugar in a limey glass, I wouldn't pour it out in front of the host, okay? If I really, really don't want to drink it, I would excuse myself somewhere, and then when no one is looking, it's like, you know, that's what you do. Or it's like when you ask about the alcohol, and she said like, oh, there's no alcohol there, and you'd be like, oh, okay. Very nice house you have here, man. What a good pool. Can I try the pool? That's how you do it, bro. You know, like, oh, I thought this was a party. What are you, a high school bully? Bruh. So yeah, it's not about like the preference itself that makes you a butthole. It's just that you go about it being an absolute butthole. 100 men versus gorilla debate sucks. Who would win? 10 Reddit dweebs or 10 Andrew Tate fans? Ooh. Honestly... Ooh, that's a tricky one. I mean, the gorilla would still win, but... Ooh. Ooh. That's tricky. That's a tricky one. It would be like watching just people flailing at each other. You know when you have those fighting scene in comedy movies where people just do this? It would be kind of like that. Neither. They're the same people. Oof. Oof. But yeah, OP is definitely the butt. Like, preferences are fine. You know, not feeling super social. And like, I don't really want to be at a place where I don't know anybody. And like, oh, it's also like a dry party. And, you know, whatever. It's like, yeah, I can see those. Like, those are reasonable preferences. But the way you went about it is just like being a butthole. It's more about the way you go about it rather than what you like or how you feel. Like, that's the thing. Like, they are obviously making an effort. You're invited to a party. You get free food and drinks. They have been prepping everything, making it nice to, like, get to know people. You know, it's not all about you, man. You're acting like a little main character that you didn't get your tequila fix, all right? Goddamn, bruh. And this is what sounds like a first time to get together with the coworkers. Yeah, that too. Like, you want to get to know the coworkers, make a good impression, and your husband is just being a sulky little butthole because he didn't get tequila. Bruh. I would be embarrassed for my partner if that was the case. This one is fun. Am I the butthole for posting screenshots of my sister-in-law's text online and making her look bad? It depends on how bad they are, okay? It depends on how bad they are. That's the thing. I, 29F, and my wife, 28F, had our son 6 days ago. The pregnancy was complicated, and they had TTTS, twin-to-twin transfusion syndrome, which resulted in them coming early. They are currently in neonatal unit. I guess it's one of those little capsule things, right? And my wife and I practically live there so we can spend time with our boys. My brother and his wife got married 2 days ago. I didn't want to leave my sons or my wife, so I missed the wedding, though I sent them the gift from us and a text wishing them a fantastic day and thought nothing more of it. I mean, that's pretty reasonable. You're literally stuck in a hospital that usually comes with canceling stuff, even though you would like to go. Yesterday, I got a text from my new sister-in-law explaining that because my wife and I missed a wedding, she would need us to send her 140 pounds for our plates of food. Uh-huh. Yeah, the neonatalist, the baby capsule, that helps. Yeah, okay, good. Then I understood it correctly. Why would you pay for food you didn't eat? I asked her if she was joking, and she told me she got my wife couldn't go as she had to stay in the hospital, but that I wasn't the one who gave birth, so I should have gone and saved 2 plates of food from going to waste. Did everyone else also pay for their food? Was the food included for everyone else, or is this like a punishment fee for not eating the food? And also like asking you to leave your partner, you know, and the boys in the hospital, you know? Bruh. I would just dump does the other person, like, does the brother know she's acting this way? Oh my god. That's their priority. Yeah, can you imagine? Oh, sorry. Can you imagine? Not asking if the boys are doing okay. Not even asking if the birth went okay. Asking if everyone is alive and well. Or if like, oh, are you still stuck at the hospital? Is everyone okay? You know? The priority is those $140 for that plate of food at our wedding. And instead of like having fun or being on a damn honeymoon or whatever, you're sitting, you know, the day after your wedding, texting people and being pissy about someone not eating a plate of food. Man. The neonatal unit is a department in the hospital. The capsules are called isolates. All right, thank you. Yeah, this is a stinky person. I told her she was being ridiculous and asked if my brother was aware she was asking his sister for money for food. She brushed that off and said weddings were expensive and she had to try to recoup her losses and this should be between us woman to woman. Just send it to the brother. At this point, when she says that, I would just stop replying and send this shit to everyone. Just like, yeah, she's asking this. Here's the screenshot of the chat. I'm done with this. And then she can deal with the fallout of her poopy behavior because her new husband sees that she's like literally burning bridges with his family. Bruh. And acting this way towards people that just gave birth and are stuck in the hospital. Oh my god, man. Between this and her thinking I should have gone anyway, I admit I lost my temper. I ended up taking screenshots of a conversation and posting to Facebook. Yes, that's the least you could do. I would send it to the husband. This shocked several people in the family, and she must have gotten bombarded with messages as she told me to take it down. No. Leave that shit up. Jesus. She was trying to burn bridges with family without your brother knowing, acting like a pile of poo-poo towards two people being in the hospital because of their kids being born too early. And I mean, this is your priority? Oh my god. My god. It sounds more like she's trying to like squeeze money out of people in a shady way after the wedding is done. This doesn't have anything to do with anything else. My dog and I pass a house with a lifeguard duck. Hell yeah. Like a lifeguard duck? Oh, that's so good. That is so good. Intel, thank you so much for doing it, Lasso. I also want a lifeguard duck. As I was making her look bad and people were taking it out of context and thinking she was some kind of villain. What context is missing exactly? I don't think there is any context that can be added to this to make it look good. My brother called me and told me not to worry about the money, and it was stupid to expect us to pay for the plates, though he asked me to take the post down and he would handle it. He seemed kind of shocked by her even asking this. Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. As soon as other people are finding out about this, she's gonna look like the villain, and for good reason. She's being both scammy and scummy. Yeah. Yep. It looks worse with context. Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, so the context. Yeah. No, she wasn't just asking us to pay for food we didn't eat. She was also, like, demanding me to leave my family in the hospital and stuff. And the context was supposed to make it look better? Did I go too far? My wife is mostly upset by our sister-in-law's comment about how I wasn't the one to give birth, as it makes me less of their mother. Maybe I should have handled it better, but I admit at the time I wasn't thinking very clearly. Honestly, I think I would have handled it the same way. Honestly. I'm not sure if I would have sent it to, like, specifically Facebook, but I certainly would have sent it to the husband and, like, the parents and stuff, because this kind of person would very obviously try to, like, get to people first to twist the story and poison the well ahead of time, right? So I would just like make a group chat and send this to people and be like, hey, this is weird. Is she going around to anyone else asking them for money? ? I would just do that. People use the whole taking out a context card like the context isn't any better. The context makes this worse. Oh my god, I remember I had such a flashback to a certain someone with 3 corners who had an exact argument like that. Like, this is out of context, and then the context was added, and it was, like, so much worse. Oh my god. I'm not gonna get into the gritty of that, but I had, like, a massive flashback to that. It's so fucking funny. Edit, I thought I said it in the post, but I didn't. Sorry for rude. I took the post down when my brother asked me to do so. I mean, that's fair, because the brother seems decent, and he doesn't want to deal with more drama, I guess. Read the edit. I mean, I did. I did, though. And not the bot. I'll take down the post as requested, though. It served its purpose. Oh, God. Edited the post. Yeah. Not the bot. Yeah. It would be tacky to ask in normal circumstance, but as the parent of a preemie twin in an NCIU is unhinged. Yep. And also being so pushy about it. And also the brother not knowing. I mean, his new wife is already, like, it's the day after the wedding. She's already going around, like, burning bridges with family over this. That's amazing. There have been things taken out of context, but this isn't one of them. I mean, yeah, definitely things taken out of context. Like, I remember some, like, dumb YouTube drama when people were trying to cancel a creator for saying, like, a slur, right? And then it turns out that the context was that the person that said the slur was just like typing it out to add it to a slur filter on their server. So it's like, I mean, yeah, you have to type up the slur at least once to add it to your slur filter. But then that was like clipped out of context and be like, oh my god, look, they're saying slurs. And it's like, well, okay. So yeah, sometimes context can definitely make a huge difference, but this certainly ain't one of those cases. Should we sort by controversial? I feel like reading some shitty posts. Let's sort by controversial, baby. Controversial? Oh god, did I spell it correctly? I don't think I did. Hold on. Wait, I have it since before. Boom. Is this the one? Fuck! Oh wait, let me see. Did I misspell it? Or did I remove it on desktop? Oh no, it does work. Okay, my browser is being weird. There we go, baby. Boom. Hey, Dad, what's up? Oh, hey, Wonder, my favorite Discord kitten. How's it hanging? Just use the tab. No, there is no controversial anymore. They removed it on desktop. You can still do it on mobile, but it's not on desktop. You have to write it in the URL. You see, there is no controversial, chat. There is no you see, I'm not being silly. I'm not being silly. Don't gaslight me. Ah, yes, indeed. Did you get a haircut? Like a week ago. You didn't notice that I got a new haircut until now? I thought you would... God damn it, kitten. I thought you paid attention when Daddy got haircuts. Aloha, chat. Say hi to Hi, I'm Wonder, everyone. Hi, I'm Wonder. It's so crazy to hear Click swear. Heck. Heck. Alright. Now we're sorting by kitten. Don't worry about it, chat. Don't worry about it, chat, okay? It's just bros being homies, okay? We talking VC, bruh. How am I supposed to know your hair length off voice alone? You're supposed to tell by the vibe. The vibe. I thought you were a mind reader. Oh my god. Disgusting. Whoa, first time clutching clicky live. Yay! Isabel, thank you so much for joining. I'm not sure why you had that voice. Wonder, that sounds like an excuse. You're supposed to be in tune with these sort of things. Disgusting attitude. Bro, your vibe is off. Did you get a haircut? Oh, maybe you can tell if someone got like a haircut and it's a failed haircut, you know? That's pretty funny, right? Because it's like, you sound sad. Did you get a shitty haircut? And you're like, yes, I did. The lower Click's voice, the shorter his hair, I guess. Hey, what up, kitten? I just got a little haircut. Oh, it's so short. Man, my haircut is so fucking short. Okay, anyway, so yeah. Click, what the heck? Don't worry about it. When I go bald, I'm gonna have such a dark voice. Alright, here we go. Am I the bot for denying my kids delivery pizza? Holy fuck, it's an essay. And the conclusion is not enough info. How did you write a book and not have enough info? Dear God, that defeats the purpose. Oh my god, man. You scared my cat? Sorry. Ooh, kitty. Come here, kitty. Come here. Come, kitty, kitty, kitty. Hey, don't be scared. Don't be scared. Is that better? Is it calming down? I hope so. Can confirm bald equals deep voice. Click saying he got a haircut last week like a like a put upon girlfriend. I'm not sure if I give a shit about this story. I'm gonna be honest. The moment I opened this and I saw like the awful formatting, I realized that I don't care. Okay, so let's go to another one. Am I the butt for bailing to house sit after just 1 hour of house sitting? Why are all of these essays, man? Why? Bruh. Okay, fine, let's get into it. I guess we have to read something. I am 28, agreed to watch my aunt's house and pets while she visited her new grandbaby. I live alone with cats and 2 hours away from her house. When she asked me to house sit, I feel I couldn't say no because she gave me her old car when I really needed it. I tried to get out of it by explaining I have cats, but she just said to bring them. I don't know how she expects me to drive 3 cats to a house with 9 cats, 5 dogs, chicken bunnies, and a guinea pig. This clearly wouldn't work, but still I felt obligated. I mean, saying no is still valid, you know? Of course she's gonna try to push her case. Everyone is manipulative to some extent, but like, you know, just say no. So I asked my neighbor if she could feed my cats just for a couple of days. She flew out at the start of the weekend and her sister watched the house until Monday. I couldn't arrive until Tuesday. When I did, the pets were going crazy, barking and meowing at me. Wasn't this communicated? Why does it feel like there's no communication? This is just an absolute mess, man. What? I immediately started giving them food when I noticed the guinea pig had died and it didn't look recent. What? 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 What do you mean? What? What do you mean? What do you mean? You just walk into a zoo and with a bunch of dead animals and poo. What? Dear God, what? The bunny's water bottle was empty. Dog poo everywhere. The AC was left running. There was a water puddle with cat litter. It was a mess. Not the worst mess, but a mess nonetheless. Kind of rhymes. I started to panic and stress about the care of the pets, the dead guinea pig, how dirty the house was, and how all of a sudden it's my responsibility. I'm neurodivergent and I'm actively working to manage my anxiety and rush decision making. Still, I needed to leave and drive back to my home and cats once I fed and gave water to all our pets. I asked my mom for help with feeding the pets the next day, while I found a solution. I even offered to pay someone. No one helped. Next I have my aunts calling me and I'm so stressed and scared that I put my phone on Do Not Disturb and just drove off after sending a text in the family group chat about how sorry I was, but that the pets were fed and I would drive back up again the next day if needed, but I would not stay in the house. Everyone's gone, but cold. What? Everyone's gone but cold. What? And I know I couldn't keep my word, but the situation I was given was not what I signed up for, specifically not having neglected my own pets to help hers. A bit cold. Everyone's gone a bit cold. What? What? Okay. Okay. Oh my God. Edit. Although I did leave today, I'd mentioned I could, and I would go back tomorrow for the pets. Yes, I do understand my decision was rushed and agreed to extend my behavior being childish. I do just want to emphasize that once I saw the dead guinea pig, while I was taking it all around me, it was overwhelming. I began to sweat and just could not think anything but I need to get back to my home. I mean, if the thing is that if you know that your anxiety is this bad, then you can't say yes to this kind of stuff. Like, even if it's difficult to say no, you have to learn how to say no. Like, taking care of pets and stuff, animals or kids for that matter or whatever, like, occasionally there will be some sort of emergency, you know, pets can, like, fall down or hurt themselves and you take them to the vet, or, you know, they swallow something and they need to, like, get it out, or, you know, whatever. Shit can happen, right? So, I don't know. Like, if your anxiety is this bad, and to me, if I put it this way, right, I don't want to minimize anything. It's not to be insensitive, but if your anxiety is this bad, and like the level of emergency here, maybe this is just me because I grew up with a lot of pets, right? So like I'm pretty used to seeing small animals dying or whatever. That doesn't make it easier or better, but you know, this isn't the super serious emergency, okay? Here's the thing, like, sure, a small animal died. That happens. It's not fun. It happens. That's not an active emergency, okay? There being a bit of poop and stuff around and a water bottle being empty, not an emergency, okay? Like, this is like very manageable problems. Does that make sense? So to me, I'm like, don't say yes if your anxiety is this bad around this kind of stuff. If it feels like, you know, when it feels, because I can relate to the feeling that the anxiety comes when like stuff feels like it's out of control, right? But then you also need to like learn how to say no, because trying to do both is like a really bad combo. But the other animals were also not fed enough, which is wild, so I understand reacting poorly. I mean, sure, but I think a more like, I don't know. I think an approach I would expect if you're used to animals would be to just fix the necessities. And then you would call the aunt and be like, hey, what the hell? I came here and it's a bombshell. What the fuck? If I'm gonna clean this up, you'd pay me, you know? I know I wouldn't be able to handle it, but that's why I wouldn't say yes. I mean, they knew that it's going to be a crap load of animals. 9 cats, 5 dogs, chicken bunnies, and a guinea pig. I mean, that's a lot. I wouldn't say yes to this. I'm going to be honest. I would say yes to cat sitting 3 cats or 2 dogs. Not a total of 15 animals, all right? This isn't my job. I wouldn't say yes to this. And I am really good with animals. Animals do not stress me out in the least. Even if they decide to die. You know. So this just sounds like a really bad combination of everything. The aunt sounds like she sucks because she has an incredibly complex household and she's willing to dump it on just random family, even if they're kind of like not super on board with it. But OP also needs to say no if they know they can't deal with it, right? Too many animals for me to have said yes. Yeah, that's the thing for me too. I wouldn't have said yes to this. But it's kind of like, you know, I don't know, I just feel like everyone sucks a bit in this situation. Like, the aunt is weird, expecting someone to just jump in to take care of this absolute mess, you know? But it's also like you need to learn to say no to things you know you're not going to be able to handle, even if the other person might be like a little bit like, you know, pushy about getting you to say yes. You know, you still have to say no. You need to learn how to say no. It's important for everyone, actually. Anyway. I began to sweat and could just think I need to go. Still, I could and should have tried harder to work the situation out. But I'm like, I fed and gave water to all her pets. Okay, that's good at least, so the animals aren't dying. The person who was watching the house and pets the days before me, on 2, will go back tomorrow to stay with the pets. I just did not expect she would leave the house like that for me to find. Yeah, that's a bit surprising. But also, like, if she left the day before... Which is also weird, to leave that many pets alone overnight. That's wild. But I mean, if you did leave the pets alone for I don't know how long, 24 hours? Of course there's gonna be a bunch of shit. Like, dogs, they need to be walked like at least twice a day, man. Bruh, what the fuck? Like, yeah, of course there's gonna be tons of shit. How is this surprising to anyone in this story? Even though I didn't want to try to do this, I was prepared, heck, even excited, because I could do my laundry for free and I enjoyed the drive this time. I was trying to make the best. For one who was rightfully worried about the pets, I've never seen them in this state before when I visited the state. I do have my reservation about the amount of animals, their well-being. Okay. At one point, discussing the possibility of taking majority to a shelter. Why did she get so many animals to begin with? Like, this is an insane amount of animals, unless you're literally having a farm. Look, if your neurodivergence is so severe that you're unable to manage basic responsibilities like feeding animals, communicating clearly, handling stressful but non-emergent situation, then you need to be upfront about that. And frankly, you shouldn't have agreed to take on this in the first place. I mean, the aunt is poopy for trying to push it on them in the first place, especially when it's such a big thing, I wouldn't have said yes to it. It sounds like On2 didn't actually care for the animals. It sounds like On2 left a day early, right? Like, that's the thing. That's more than just a stressful situation, though. Yeah, but it's not an emergency. I mean, one small pet died, and you need to refill the water. It's the kind of situation you go into and it's like, oh shit, this doesn't look good. Let's pick this up, But I don't know. Oh, OP replied to this one. Okay, anyway. And if that was not extreme, then serious question needs to be asked, like whether it's safe or appropriate for you to be driving 2 hours alone, managing pets, or be left alone in charge of living creatures. You can't have it both ways. Either you're capable of handling adult responsibilities, or you're not. I mean, I half agree with this comment. It's more about, like, knowing when to say no for like, everyone's sake. You're included, and, like, the pets and everything, But it also sounds like the aunt is, like, really stinky. And if you're not, then others shouldn't be relying on you for something this important. Being neurodivergent, I am too, comes with challenges, but it doesn't mean you get to walk away from commitment with zero follow-throughs or accountability. If anything, it means we have to be more intentional about setting boundaries and communicating clearly. You drop the ball, own it, learn from it, don't hide behind a label. You're the asshole. No, I don't half agree with this comment. I think everyone sucks. I think the original aunt sucks because she purposefully has a super complex pet household while still expecting family to casually step in and help her. Aunt number 2 sounds like she left the house too early because it was too much of a state for the animals to just have been alone for a little bit. And OP is kind of a butthole because they don't know when to say no, when they also know that they're not going to be able to deal with a task someone asked them for, right? So everyone in this story just fucking sucks, okay? I feel bad for the animals because they're all a fucking walking disaster, okay? My point with mentioning everyone sucks, click 2025, yeah. OP didn't know it would be that bad, though. Sure. But still, it's fucking 9 cats, 5 dogs, chicken bunnies, and a guinea pig. I mean, if you show up to something like this, and you don't have a semi-emergency, that's gonna be, like, outside of the norm. Jesus fucking Christ. It's a damn farm. So meh, and also like I said, it comes with the territory that, if you're watching pets or small kids or anything like this, emergencies can happen, and that's something you need to keep in the back of your head, If you're, like, for example, regularly watch dogs or something, it's only a matter of time before, like, oh, at some point, you might have to take one of them to an emergency vet visit because they get hurt or they swallow something or, whatever. Same thing with kids, something might happen while you're the one watching them, and this is something you need to know when you say yes to that, You need to be able to do that. So it's like you didn't realize how bad it was going to be. Sure, it sounds like it was worse than you would normally expect, but it's still within, like, reason. This kind of stuff happens. I have had, I remember one time when I was babysitting fucking Simba, and he's just one cat, mind you, and I woke up after sleeping for like 8 hours, and he had, like, shat everywhere because he got hyper bad diarrhea in the middle of the night. So he fucking spray painted his litter box, and then he didn't want to go in the litter box when the diarrhea came pushing 30 minutes later, so he spray painted the fucking sinks, and then he spray painted the carpets, and then he spray painted the rest. So it's like, yeah, that's not within the norm, but sometimes animals do be diarrhea, My point is that, and then, I can't say that, like, oh my god, I have such an aversion to cleaning up poop, so I can't clean this. I'm just going to let all this poop fester until someone else happens to come home. And it's like, well, maybe you shouldn't say yes to babysitting a cat if you literally can't clean poop, That's sort of my point, So it's like, I'm like, yeah. I half agree that this sounds like I wouldn't have said yes to this, don't get me wrong. But it's also like you should be able to deal with this stuff because it kind of comes with the territory, I feel it's more on the family pushing someone to try to say no. It's not entirely their fault for giving in. Shitty families suck. Yeah, that's what I said. I think everyone sucks in this situation. I don't think OG Aunt is, like, good in this situation either. She sounds like a piece of work. So, meh. How old was OP? 28. So, like, everyone is an adult in this story. Like, there's no one is, like, a kid or whatever. Let's see what OP replied. My point with mentioning neurodivergence not to absolve me, but rather shed light on my continuous struggle with stress and anxiety and how they manifest during this time. I'm absolutely responsible. I have to deal with the consequences. I felt it was expected to say yes. This arrangement, once I got there, it was clear to me that the person that was house sitting before me left a mess for me to fix. I felt overwhelmed, saddened by the guinea pig, and stressed about the state. I appreciate taking responsibility, blah, blah, blah. You say you're accountable, but mostly written focus on how hard it was. This just sounds like everyone kind of like just bleh. Like OP should have said no. The aunt shouldn't have pushed so hard for it. Aunt number 2 shouldn't have left the house in this kind of state because it sounds like they were irresponsible with it. I don't know. Sounds exhausting. Glad I'm not there. I think the way OP responded to that comment was very mature. Yeah, sure. I mean, why not? This topic is making me lose my appetite, and I just said that for lunch. You want to talk more about cat shit? His Holiness of the Pope? Mm. And here the commenter devolves even further from original wisdom with the respectability politics. What? Oh, not OP, you mean the other commenter? Respectability, what? I mean, it's also like, the thing is that it's also like Reddit comments, you know. Reddit comments have this tendency to like, one person comments and everyone like agrees with what they see first, you know. It's like, meh. You're the butt for just not saying no. I felt obligated. Stuff is nonsense. You knew you weren't capable of doing it. Say no. I'm so stressed and scared I put my phone on Do Not Disturb and just drove off. Yeah, this is also like wild to me. But it's also like silly to, I don't know, the aunt is being silly, so meh. For real, you think you're stressed and scared? What about the poor defenseless animals? And you abandoned them. Yeah, that's also, actually, yeah, that's a good point. I didn't catch that first. Like, sure, anxiety is one thing. But you don't abandon animals that are already kind of like in a little bit of a mess, you know? So, meh. Everyone sucks in this story. Isn't that a happy ending? Woo! Caitlin, thank you so much for the 5 gifted subs, you beautiful bean. Hell yeah. This is really reflective of the bigger issue of feeling like family should take care of everything, from Aunt 1 and OP, because Aunt should have asked someone who had experience. Yeah, or like literally hired someone. I mean, this is the kind of task you would expect payment for, you know? This isn't like casually babysitting a friend's puppy for an evening, you know? This is literally caring for a fucking farm. I listen to Click 24/7. I don't care. I sleep to him. Hell yeah. Power move. Would I be the butthole for responding defensively to my dad banning my dog? It's a lot of like... Oh my god. Final update. Okay. I'm butthole. Okay, so they have decided that they're the butthole. Alright, very cool. So... This is gonna be great. Hi, Reddit. I, 31 female, am in a bit of a conflict with my dad, 61 male. Me and my boyfriend, 33 male, Joe, have a bundle of joy, Pip, a 7-year-old Aussie doodle. He's had Pip long before me. I never had a dog growing up. My dad doesn't like dogs. I never disliked dogs. I just didn't really notice them. Pip is now my baby. As it should be. Pip is a little bubby. I do not remember the details of how we got here, but I thought Dad had been sufficiently convinced to tolerate Pip after some convo early in dating Joe. I explained what Pip and Joe meant to each other. Joe owns a business and Pip goes to work and everywhere with him. She is his child. She has epilepsy and gets very stressed when away from him. Dad responded warmly and we were pretty much done talking about it. I mean, yeah, it's just a dog. Unless someone is allergic or has a phobia or something, it sounds kind of like a non-issue. With that, Joe, Pip, and I have visited my dad's house many times. We got together with my dad a couple of weeks ago with Pip in tow. Things were fine. Sans usual grumpy dad things. Okay. Fast forward to this weekend. I text my dad, could we invite a friend couple to join us at your place next weekend for Memorial Day pool time? Dad, not feeling it. I've got to go out of town on business the next day. Me, clarifies I was talking about Saturday, not Monday. Dad, what do you propose? Me, Joe's best friend plus wife/kid would love to come over for pool time. We cook, they will not stay the night. Dad, no dogs, no overnighters, you'll host your own. It's only going to reach 70, so it may not be ideal for swimming. Bring your own towels, please. Me, we will do it another time, Smiley. No more dialogue this morning. Dad, when you come to the house with Pip, my heart sinks. That's a bit weird. It means I'm going to have a dog in my home for 2 days. You continue to ignore the fact that I don't like dogs. You are all more than welcome, but please don't bring a dog to my home. Is he worried about like the mess or something? I don't know. No, not more pets, let him out. Australian Shepherds are super energetic, but it just seems like father doesn't like dogs. Not just the shit. Yeah, it seems like he just doesn't like dogs in general. This feels like my family is not welcome, and will make it very logistically difficult to visit my dad. He doesn't come out much. Pip could stay with Joe's parents, but 2 hour round trip. Joe's feelings are hurt too. Dad is not afraid of dogs. Pip is quiet, clean, less than 40 pounds, and probably an angel incarnate. Would I be the butthole for pushing back on principle? I mean, it's his house. Like the thing is that I can disagree with the fact that, like, why would you care this much, you know? I feel like the dad is making a bigger deal out of it, but it's also his home, and if he doesn't like dogs there, then you will have to adapt, I guess, you know? If he didn't like OP bringing the dog to his home, why didn't he say to stop bringing Pip around? I guess it's when they're gonna stay over for 2 days. That's when he's like, meh. But I don't know, it's weird. Dear Swedish man on internet, please stop doing live so late. Us fellow Scandinavians, European want to watch in bed. It's good nighttime story. The dog sounds fairly harmless. I don't think the dog is the problem. It sounds more like a general aversion to animals, I guess. Update. To all that have trashed me for not reading minds, I did respond to my dad, and just heard back. Me, I promise I was unaware and certainly not intentionally ignoring the seething dysphoria you describe. Not a fan of dogs, I know. I was under the impression that the risk-benefit around family relations continued. I thought so too, but my heartfelt reaction to seeing a dog offloading from the car belies my true feelings. Fair. Meh. This is all very entitled, inviting yourself and your friend's family. On top of that, it's just so much worse. I mean, that I agree. That part is like more outrageous. Like the dog, like a dog coming along when you come over to family. That doesn't sound like that big of a deal. But the whole thing was like, hey, Dad, can we host a party at your your house? We're in our 30s. That's like, that sounds weird. You know? So that to me stood out like more weird, honestly. But the deal seems to be about the dog. It's so weird, man. I would expect that to be like the main argument, not the puppy thing. At least they asked. Yeah, I mean, they did ask. I don't know. All of this just sounds like meh. Okay, then we fix the dog sitting elsewhere, I guess. Meh. But they did ask first with people and didn't seem to ask about the dog. Yeah, I suppose that's the main thing. I don't know. Kind of a boring story, I'm gonna be honest. I'm just like, meh, if he doesn't want his dog there, I mean, respect it, I guess. It's his house, you know? Whatever. I don't share the same opinions about animals. I'd be thrilled to have a dog over, but, you know, I also wouldn't push it if it was the other way around, you know what I mean? It's like, meh. Let's see, are there any ones with like more, can I sort it by like month maybe? Yeah, let's sort it by month, baby, hell yeah. Let's get some more, it's the same one, hell yeah. Oh, this is drama, man. Am I the butthole, 59F, for speaking to my son, 37M, individually and telling him I'm concerned about some of his wife's behaviors? Damn, this is family drama, baby. Hell yeah, let's get into some family drama. I'm a 59F and I have a son, 37M. Okay, yeah, those age gaps track, I suppose. And their daughter and my granddaughter, who is 4 years old, we'll call her Maeve. Another son, 36F. The other son... What? And a daughter. Oh, okay. You mean your son? I thought. God is written so shitty. Oh my god. I thought it was. I have a son, 37M, and their daughter is 4 years old, and they also have another son who's a 36F. I'm like, what? Did he have a baby when he was 1? Who's also getting misgendered? Okay, so I guess... And a daughter, 35F. I guess this one is supposed to be M? Okay, anyway, yeah, okay. My son is married to my daughter-in-law, we'll call her Sarah, 35M. My son and Sarah have been married 5 years and dated for 9 before that. They are each other's first relationships. Growing up, my son was always a little different and kind of a loner, but a huge, gentle heart. My son is head over heels in love with his wife and will do anything for her. I can tell she really loves him, too. Every year on my son's birthday, I get him a gift and texts. And I text my daughter-in-law. I also get my son a Father's Day gift because I'm proud of my son being a father, and I want to show him some love. Recently, I planned a family vacation with my husband and children because I don't have a lot of money. I told my son I can afford to pay for him, but not his wife. Bit of a weird... Yeah, that can certainly make it weird. Yeah. Holy run-on sentences. Yeah, that too. That's also weird. But I would probably offer to pay for something else in that case, you know? Like, offer them to, I don't know, buy them a couple of nice dinners when you're on the vacation, you know? Just let them both pay for themselves. Yeah, that's like a weird, you know, you don't want to do that. That's weird. Okay? Boy mom? It smells like a bit of a boy mom, doesn't it? Well, recently, my son came to me and said his wife is very upset that she is never acknowledged on her birthday, Mother's Day, and that I will pay for his portion of the vacation, but not her portion. Yeah, that's very weird. That feels like a boy mom that's still like treating their 37-year-old son like kind of a kid. If you want to like show a gesture, you have to kind of include both of them, otherwise it's really weird and like separating. And they're also married, so it means that they probably have shared finances anyway, so it's really fucking weird to only pay for one of their tickets like that. It's a weird boy mom thing. I get the vibes from this. If you wanted to like give them something on this trip, invite them to dinner or something like that, or offer to pay a portion of the hotel or whatever, right? That's meh. He said he will no longer accept gifts from me that if I don't include his wife. She has a bit of a strong personality. And like I said earlier, my son would do anything for his wife, since she was the first person besides me as his mother, and his father, of course, to really appreciate him for who he is. He's the only woman, but I was the first woman. I'm getting these unhinged boy mom TikTok vibes from this. Bruh. Him and his brother are complete opposites, and they were never close. Whenever my son... Okay, there's so many like weird little snippets of context that don't matter. It's like, he's not super close to his brother. Okay. Bruh. Whenever my son visits me, his wife always comes and asks my son to have some one-on-one mother-son time. His wife gets highly offended. What the fuck is this? What? Whenever my son visits me, his wife always comes, and if I ever ask my son to have some one-on-one mother-son time, his wife gets highly offended. Okay, so... Okay, now I got it. Okay, Jesus Christ, these sentences are fucked. Alright, so, when they come over to do, like, family stuff, you know, like a family dinner, and then she just pulls the son away and be like, Now we're gonna have mommy-son time. You sit here alone in the kitchen for a while. Yeah? What? I don't think I've ever... That's so weird, man. That's so weird. Like, it's one thing, okay? It's one thing if you're staying somewhere with family for a while, you know? Oh, you're visiting family for a weekend. And then you know, at some point it's like, oh, me and my parent is going to do this thing we do sometimes for an hour, and you go away and do that thing for an hour, and it's only you two doing it. That's fine, you know, because you're staying somewhere for a while, and probably not everyone is together all the time, you know. But if you're literally visiting for like a dinner or whatever, this is kind of odd. This is kind of odd. And what does this mean? Like mother-son time. What does that mean? AI boy mom? You think it's AI? I think it's just like unhingedly written. This is too shittily written to be AI. I'm gonna be honest. ChatGPT is more coherent than this. My son seems happy, however, I can't help, but my daughter-in-law is emotionally abusing my son by isolating him from his family, by basically gaslighting my son into thinking somehow he's being disloyal to her by accepting a gift from his own mother and her coming along to every single hangout. He's also being gaslit into thinking that run-on sentences aren't a good thing. Oh my god. I mean, my gosh, he already gives his wife the world and his attention 98% of the time. God forbid he has something that's between him and his mother. Uh-huh. There it is, baby. There it is. His wife spoke to me about it as well and said now that we are married, she feels that she should be acknowledged on Mother's Day, her birthday, and vacations if her husband is. When I explained he's my son and my relationship with him will always be a little different, and sometimes I want to do things individually for him, and while I care about her a lot as my daughter-in-law, I will water down my relationship with my son if I treat him exactly the same every time I do something for my son. I mean, I don't think anyone is asking this mother in this case to like pretend his wife, you know, is another child she raised or has known her entire life or whatever. I don't think anyone is pretending to do that, but it's also really weird to like be so pushy about like every time you only give things to your son. You only buy him a plane ticket for the trip, and you don't really even invite her. You pull him away when you're at family events. You offer him things. You text him Happy Father's Day, but never her on Mother's Day. You celebrate his birthday, never acknowledge her birthday. It's like, it becomes a really weird pattern, you know? It becomes a super weird pattern. No one is asking you to, like, pretend that your son's wife is also your child, okay? But you're being really weird and, like, I don't know, territorial about your son, who is, like, almost 40. Am I the butthole for speaking to my son individually and telling him I'm concerned about some of his wife's behaviors, and this could make me the butthole because instead of caring that my daughter-in-law feelings are hurt, I'm doubling down on saying some of her behaviors toward my son are abusive? What exactly is abusive? What exactly... I think the only thing I've seen here is that the wife said, hey, it's not nice that you only invite him to the trip and not me, basically. And he said, like, please include my wife in gifts and gestures. Okay, that's abuse? Fuck yeah. In nicer news, the cat who adopted us in February finally has revealed his name, Oscar Wildcat, or Bitey McBiteface, a little rascal. Hell yeah, they're all amazing. That sounds so good. I love little kittens. It's her money. If she wants it to give it to her son, that's her performative. You mean prerogative? I think you mean prerogative. They're fucking married. They have a shared economy. What do you... Bruh. Oh my... Okay, I suppose gifts are a little bit different, right? Gifts are a little bit different. But still, sure... But this is not really about that, right? If you give someone a gift, it's like something specific to them, or it's, you know, specific for their birthday or Christmas or whatever it might be, right? But it's really weird to invite, you know, if you're gonna invite people on a trip, for example, it's really weird to only be like, I'm gonna pay for that one person's ticket and not the rest, but you're invited, I guess, if you want to come. That's weird. That's kind of weird, okay? That's weird. And the wife isn't even being acknowledged. Like, in a normal family, I mean, I don't really come from a country where we give a crap about, like, Mother's Day or Father's Day or whatever, but you would at least expect, you know, to celebrate each other's birthdays, right? And then it's also pulling him away, calling her abusive for that kind of stuff. Like, no, this is just weird shit, man. This is just weird shit. Like, sure, you could argue that, like, yeah, of course it's her prerogative who she wants to give a gift to, but this isn't about the gift. This isn't about, like, oh my god, controlling who you can give a gift to. This is about being really weirdly territorial about your son who is literally married, okay? Bruh. So a few things. I'm questioning if this is real because I read the daughter-in-law version of the story the other day. And to be honest, she did not exactly come across as pleasant. What? Oh, that's hilarious. I think there's a balance here. Mother's Day isn't your problem. But her birthday, you definitely need to at least be getting her a card. And that's what I mean. It's like, who gives a fuck about Mother's Day? I mean, bleh, who cares? But to like ignore people on their birthday, like their family, right? Seeing your son without her, I mean, they're married. It's not really reasonable to expect him to just leave her at home. I mean, it depends on what it is, you know? It's fine to like see your son alone. But it's really weird to invite them both over for dinner, you know, and then pull your son away for a couple hours and she's just sitting there like, okay, now what? What the hell? You know? Not being able to afford to pay for both of them is fair, but maybe face it as I can contribute X amount towards this vacation for both of you rather than I can pay for you but not her. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like if I was doing that, I'm like, I want to contribute $100, $200 for this vacation for my little precious. I would buy them a nice meal when you're actually on the trip. Or be like, I'll pay for one of your hotel nights or something like that. You know, pay for the child. Yeah, that's even better. That's very neutral. Hey, if you come with, I'll pay for the kiddo. I'll pay for the grandchild. That's pretty cool. Hell yeah. Do you think we could find the daughter-in-law version? I don't even know what to search for, man. I'm gonna be honest. I2 is not exactly real. I mean, it's written shittily enough that I don't think it's AI. But it can very much be fake. But it's also like unhinged, and it's written so shittily. Did OP reply to anything? Oh, bro. That's funny. That is so funny. Oh, I know people that talk and think like that. I mean, yeah, of course. I wouldn't be surprised if it's real, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's fake either, right? Hope it's this. Oh, is this the one with the internal server error? Oh, that's just great. Let me see if I can figure this out. Hold on. Comments. Why is the URL broken? Let's see if I can clean up the URL a bit, see if I can make it work. Oh, there we go. Okay, it was only because the link went to like a specific comment that wasn't available. Okay, now I figured out. Okay, boom. Am I the butt? 35F, I had a conversation with my mother-in-law, 53F about this. What are the ages? 59F. Okay, the ages are slightly different, but that can also be scrambled for anonymity's sake. 35F, husband, will call him Will. 3-year-old little girl, our daughter, that we will call Stella. We've been married 10 years. I feel like my mother-in-law doesn't like me and continually treats me and my husband not like a married unit, but rather consistently treats my husband great and me like I'm not a member of the family. My thoughts are, if she couldn't afford it, she would have been a bit more inclusive and said, hey, I'll give you guys such and such amounts towards the vacation, but the rest is on you. Wait, is this actually... What? Is this actually the same person? But the ages don't match. But it's like... But it's talking about the specific vacation. What the fuck? AI generated from daughter-in-law POV to mother-in-law POV? Probably. Must be, right? Instead of being like, I'll pay for you but not her, it's not very nice. It's a daughter-in-law. For example, we completely ignore Mother's Day, and my mother-in-laws make a huge deal on my husband on Father's Day. Recently, mother-in-law wanted to plan a family vacation with father-in-law, sister-in-law, husband, and daughter. She told my husband she would pay his portion, but I had to pay for myself. Combination of shit. Wait. This again. It's not the same user, but they have the same like weird. Check it out. Minimum error 5140. User suspended. This one, direct threat 7162. User suspended. Oh, this one has dashes and this one has underscores. Yeah, that seems like very like it's run-on sentences. It's written in the same shitty way. It's the same story, just reversed, but it gets some of the details wrong, like ages, for example. Like, the ages are scrambled, right? It's also really fucking cutting it close with the age gaps on this one, right? She was like 17 or 18 when she gave birth to the dad. So she was almost definitely fucking underage when he was conceived in this story, right? I know I live under a rock, but what does 53F and 35M? 53 female and 35-year-old man. That's what it means. Yeah, so that's weird, right? So she's 18 years older than him, but you know, it also takes 9 months for a baby to cook. So this means that she was like 16 or 17 probably when he was conceived. What? What? AI, your math is not good. Your math is bad, man. Oh, nah. To cook, yeah. To cook, to boil. To gestate. To gestate. I'm 17 years older than my mom. Your family has some issues. To boil, to sizzle, to cook. I think both are fake. Oh, they definitely are. I mean, they both even follow the same formula of like username. That's actually funny. Let's see. Wait. Patio furniture for a party. Wait. There was another story like... Is there another... I'm just checking... Oh my god, wait. Is this one also a bot? Medium option _8357? Is this... Wait, is this written in the same way? Are we heading down like a rabbit hole? Hold on, what? Wait, let's see. Does this have the same shitty writing? Cold, who was my friend after hospitalization. I, 25F, have been friends with Betty for almost a decade. A couple of years ago, we stopped talking because of the toll her mental health and relationship issues were taking on our relationship. She was with someone toxic, and despite many of us trying to see that, she stayed. Now, this doesn't have the same shitty run-on sentences. Does Reddit suggest username that sounds like this? Is it? That's an auto-assigned username, not necessarily a bot. Okay, that makes more sense. So it's just the name that gets assigned if you don't type in your own name manually. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I thought we were onto like a fun conspiracy, but apparently not. All right. But this one sounds fun to read anyway. It's not reading as shittily, so that's fun. I told her at the time I couldn't be part of her support system if she chose to stay in that situation. It took a few years, but she eventually left and we reconnected. Okay, well, that's good. Yesterday, she ended up in the hospital again after a friend rejected her. Wait, what? Stopped talking because they told her mental health and relationship issues were taking on a relationship. She was someone toxic, and despite me, I was trying to help her, she stayed. Why would you end up in a hospital from a friend rejecting her? Self-harm? What does this mean? What do you mean friend rejected her? Does this mean she got friend-zoned and she went to the hospital because of it? Or like, what? Self-harm? I mean, yeah, I guess it's about self-harm, right? That's the reason. But what do you mean friend rejected? Does that mean like they didn't take her up on her, like she asked someone out and they said no? Or does it mean like, hey, do you want to hang out this Friday? And she said like, nah, I have other plans. And then she, what? Or breakdown, I'm guessing? Maybe. Okay, I'm guessing the rejected means like something romantic, right? Like a friend they both know rejected her romantic interest and she ended up in the hospital due to a crisis of some sort, I guess. I found out through one of her friends and reached out. When we talked, I wasn't very sympathetic, I was cold. I wanted to be direct, she wasn't the environment for it. She wasn't the environment for it. What? 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 She wasn't the environment. I don't know, man. I don't know. To Google Translate? Yeah, maybe. Sounds like something from Google Translate, right? She wasn't the target for that communication, or like the words weren't meant for her. It turns into like she wasn't the environment for it. You know, Google Translate and weird synonyms and stuff. Probably. Do not say my username on Reddit. Yeah, okay. Yeah, then it makes sense, Samantha. It makes sense. Yeah, I think it's a default name. She had brought up the guy who turned her down and said he wanted to come see her because he felt bad. And she kind of wanted to see him too. I strongly advised against it. This sounds... Oh, nah, man, nah. Look. I hope this person, if the story is even real, you know, it seems to be like 80% is not real. But in the 20% chance, it's real, right? I feel really bad for this person that they're dealing with struggles this intense that they end up in the hospital like this. But also, you're not ready to date. Like, dear God, like if this is what happens when you get rejected, you are not ready. You need to work on yourself first before you start dating, man. This is so bad. This is so bad, man. From what I know, he struggles with boundaries, is very anxious, and might act out of guilt. I told her to avoid it because of that, and at some point consider that he cannot be her friend anymore. Instead of responding, she gave the phone to her friend to speak for her. At one point, she asked if I was mad at her. I told her no, but I was disappointed, and honestly I still am. Just like last year with another guy who was toying with her emotions and rejected her. She went to the hospital as well. For real, again, therapy. She needs therapy, not weird boys from Tinder. I've had a firm boundary for a while. When she's in crisis, she should not call me unless I'm the last resort. She always has other people around. I have trauma from a mutual friend we had. I can't handle any call where Betty says something out of pocket now. This morning, I mean, it's also that kind of thing where, I don't know. I've always been very keen on being there for people around me, but I can also see someone stepping away if they feel like this person is only going to drag me down. You know, if it's like, hey, we both see that when you seek out, for example, this kind of romantic thing, it always ends up in a crisis. And then they keep doing it, and you both know why. You know, it's like someone who refuses to try to improve or work on it, but they always just come crashing on you instead. So it sounds like fucking hell, man. Hey, ChatGPT, can you give me Reddit karma? The Pope knows what's up. A difficult situation. If real, I'm sorry. I'm more OP side. This kind of friend take a huge toll on a person. You can only take so much of someone else's trauma and issues, especially if they're not willing to improve, right? I've had many instances in life when I'm there for friends going through tough things, for example, but it's usually, how should I put it? It's, the issues are finite. Does that make sense? The issues are finite because it's like, it's a crisis, for example. You know, someone has passed away, or there is a crisis, or there is a burnout, or a mental health struggle, or something like that. And the person is also like an adult who takes steps to like improve it. It's like, okay, I know this is bad, I want to work on it. And then, you know, it's like, okay, you know, mental health may not be your fault, but it's your responsibility. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Like, it's good to have empathy about it, but I don't know. This sounds exhausting because they very knowingly go back to the issue that causes it, right? And then expect like friends around them to always pick up the pieces. That's really toxic. That seems pretty weird for a Reddit story, though. Yeah, it does. But it's r/AmITheA butthole. It's all kind of flavors and textures. This morning, she texted me saying she's sorry she disappointed me. I haven't replied yet. I feel like a terrible person. Her other friends are showing her sympathy, but I don't feel like it. I care about her, but despite her She has bipolar disorder, at least according to OP. Despite her bipolar disorder status and other things to consider, I'm disappointed. Context is new for me. I just didn't respond the same way like usually. Betty's new friend was definitely on a different page, responding with polite deflections with my comments. Okay. You're the butthole, you can't do it halfway. You either have to be there for her or don't be. Saying not to call when she's in a crisis, expect as a last resort, is cruel. You don't have to be her friend, but you can't pretend to be her friend and not be there for her. Either be there for 100% or cut her out entirely. I don't know, man. I'm not to be fair, I've never been in this sort of situation. Sounds like you might have burnout dealing with the friend. That's a bad friendship in that case. God damn. But I don't know. I would probably leave this sort of situation. Like I said, I'm very much for being there for people around you and stuff. But when it becomes like destructive to the point where someone keeps going back to their problem and insisting on digging deeper over and over and over and over again, expecting you dumping it on you, then it just turns into that kind of thing where they're just gonna drown you too. You know? My friends call me the therapist. If there is someone in need, I can't turn them down no matter how bad my own situation is. I mean, that sounds mixed feelings about that one. That doesn't sound necessarily healthy either. I disagree. Sometimes you need boundaries for your own safety or health. Yeah, I'm not like, I don't know, man. I have many friendships of varying degrees of depth, you know. I don't agree that friendships are like black and white, you know. Like if you're friends with someone, you have to be there 100% or 0%. It's like, I have friends who I consider closer, who I would definitely put more on the line for. And then I have friends who I haven't known that long, or I only have like a very specific thing in common, but don't really do much outside of that. And the friendship is, you know, both people appreciate it, but it's bound to like a specific activity, for example. I wouldn't expect to put as much on the line for that, and neither would I expect from them. So I'm not sure if I agree with like this whole like 100% or 0% when it comes to friendships. Like friendships have different levels of investment from both parties, right? And I think everyone in the real world knows that. They can be friends, just not close friends. See, that's sort of what I mean, you know? But being friends also mean helping people to take accountability for their own health, being realistic about situations. Yeah. It screams of conditional decency to me. You mean dependency? Yeah. Probably. Or or do you mean conditional decency? Or dependency? I'm a little bit confused. The comment isn't considering this is not a one-time crisis, but probably the X time the same crisis happened. Yeah, that's sort of what I get from the story too. I mean, this is very obviously a person who keeps going back to like obviously dynamics and toxic things, or taking it very hard when they're turned down. It sounds like they need either, I mean, I'm hardly an expert in BPD or whatever, but it sounds like they need help with that first before getting involved with like toxic romantic situations that very obviously have a bad toll on them, right? Betty has borderline. OP needs boundaries. Yep. It sounds like OP has been here for her previously until it became too much for OP to handle. Yeah. Yeah, that's what it sounds like here. You know, they reconnected when she finally gave up her toxic relationship that was kind of dragging people down. And then they reconnected, but then it seems like she's doing the same thing again. And then it's like, okay, we were friends. This really bad relationship ruined the friendship. The relationship finally ended. They reconnected. She gets back into a different relationship and ends up in a new crisis because of it. And then it's like, okay, here we go again, kind of. So Friends aren't a crutch, I guess. They're that mildly comfortable cat seat where you can fall asleep on it, but won't really help with long-term sleep. They can provide support, but can't solve the issues. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, friends can be there to support you, but they can't really fix your problems in that way. Nor should they maybe be expected to. This is so confusing. Way too many references to friends in here without any clarity of who the actual friends versus people she wants to date. Anyway, no clue what's going on in Betty's life, but you need to take care of you. Yeah. Oh, here's a comment from OP. There's a key component that just couldn't be said, but she has a new friend group, so the person she went to the hospital with is Sarah, and the guy she likes just wants to be friends is Gabe. I am not in this friend group. I reference her past relationship, last year's guy, and our mutual friend Anne for more context. Why add names to them? That just makes it more confusing. Who gives a shit? Okay. There's no point adding names if you're only going to use the name once. Then how does OP know Gabe has bad boundaries? Who knows? Who knows? This sounds like a mess. Glad I'm not there. Oh, man. Am I the butthole for refusing to eat at a vegan restaurant? Ooh. Okay, this is spicy. Now we're having a bit of relationship drama. Hell yeah. The story is pretty half-baked. It is. It is. It's not very consistent and it's kind of messy. My boyfriend is vegan, I am not. We're both pretty adamant about our stance on this topic. I don't know, man. I have I'm not vegan. I have spent time with people who are vegetarian or vegan in the past. I'm perfectly fine with eating a meal that is vegan or vegetarian. I won't do it all the time. I like my flesh. But, yeah. So here's what happened. We spontaneously got together the other evening, and he wanted to go out and get some burgers. So he mentioned a place he saw on this route to work. We get there, and I'm going through the self-help machine. I notice all burgers have a weird spelling to the meat, like chicken, bacon. When he showed me the menu on his phone earlier, this place when he suggested a place, I saw the hamburger was spelled normal and still was on the machine, but I was still suspicious. So I asked my boyfriend, "Is any of this real meat?" He shrugged, then repeated my question to Buddy behind the counter, who informed us their menu is strictly plant-based. I got annoyed, looked at my boyfriend and said, "Why would you take me here?" And he said he didn't know that it was only plant-based stuff, but I could still try it. I said, "Feel free to order something for yourself, but I'm not eating here. I'll get myself something to eat elsewhere." And he got annoyed and we walked out. Then he was upset. And he started saying how he always has to sacrifice what he eats so I can eat stuff that I like, that he was excited, blah, blah. Bro. Yeah, god damn, bruh. God damn, who gives an ass? You both grow up. Yeah, this sound... You're fuck... How old are the people in the story? 5? God damn. If I went to a place and it turned out, oh, they only have vegan burgers, I would shrug and be like, yeah, fuck it, let's try it, I guess. Why not? and like, if it's like him and I had a partner who really wanted a flesh burger, I'd be like, okay, that's fine. I'm gonna order takeaway from here. You can order takeaway from the other burger place next door, and we'll just eat in the cozy park in the sun. Like, fuck, man. There's so many mature ways to fix this from both perspectives. This is God, why are people dating when they're mentally goddamn children? Fuck. To pick from, he wanted to try this place with a little disapproval, wants to keep me and wants to pay all his sacrifices. Anyway, we went and got pizza. You see, perfect sacrifice. Everyone wins. Pizza's great. After my heart attack last year, I've gone on cholesterol, so no animal fats. Vegan fake meat and vegan pastries have been a lifesaver for me. Hell yeah. I hope we're doing better, John. My favorite pizza place just happened to be around the corner. I thought it was water under the bridge, but this was a couple of days ago when we last saw each other. And when we talked on the phone today for our nightly phone call, he brought it up again, so it's bothering him. My point of view is, he made the choice to be vegan. That's an active choice he makes, not me. So I shouldn't be forced to eat vegan stuff. they don't have real problems. Yeah, they really don't. Why are they together? I don't know, man. I don't know. I've tried plant-based meat and I don't like it. It does not taste good to me. It's not appetizing. He's mentioned taking me to plant-based or vegetarian places before and I always refuse and tell him I need non-vegetarian, non-vegan options. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ, man. I'm a big fan of meat, right? I gladly eat vegetarian stuff when offered, you know? I don't do it that often anymore because I don't have anyone around me who's like vegan or whatever. But I used to have more people around me who were vegan a few years ago. And it was a relatively common occurrence that, you know, oh, you cook and you do it vegetarian or vegan. Or one time I remember we went to a restaurant on our way home from like a pub thing and it's like, oh, it's a vegan place. All right, cool. Why not? And I was like munching down on like some grill halloumi platter at 3 a.m. while fucking wasted. And it was pretty good. So like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm just like, meh. It's such a irreconcilable difference. Oh my God. If this is like the big break, oh Jesus Christ, people need perspective of what real problems are, man. Like I remember one time I bumped into a boomer who said something like, people haven't seen a war in too long. And, you know, I don't really agree with the opinion in of itself, but when I read posts like this, I sort of get his point, you know? I sort of get his point when I see posts like this. I don't think the solution is to have more wars, but I think it's more of a matter of perspective, right? It's like, you don't have real problems, you know? That's the more hinged perspective. And now I just can't go to a restaurant. I always have to make sure there's vegan options. Oh, boo fucking who. When I cook for us, I always have to make 2 meals, and the ingredients I need to make is meal just to fucking break up, man. If this like replacement tofu milk so I can suck it up, but I can't suck it up, and everything sucks, and sucky fucky suck. And here we go, baby. Everyone sucks. You shouldn't be deceiving you about restaurants, but you're also being a whiny little shit ass. And with french fries and shit, eat fucking shit. Everyone can eat poo instead. Poo is vegan. As someone with a daughter who's at age fucking yes indeed, shitting ass. Alright, so, yeah, I'm really glad I never have to meet any of the people in the story. That's my conclusion about this wonderful story. Oh, yeah. There we go, baby. Man, I love it. I love it. It makes me feel good about myself that I'm not an irreconcilable little shit ass. Click, are you okay? No, I'm not okay. Thank you so much for the laugh, you beautiful bean. Poo isn't vegan. It depends on what poo. I mean, it comes from an animal, I guess. Fuck. Poo isn't vegan. Fuck. My crash out has been spoiled. Poo isn't vegan. Fuck. That's a good tweet. Poo could be vegan. Could it, though? Could it? It comes from an animal. That's the thing. So it isn't vegan. Is breast milk vegan? Depends on if you consider humans to be animals or not. So insects? Honey is vegan. Is it? Is honey vegan? Is honey vegan? Is poo vegan? Is poo vegan r/ask Reddit? Is poo vegan? Well, it's 14 years ago. This is a question for the ages. This is a question for the ages. Honey comes from animals, so technically not vegan. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. Can be, I mean, it doesn't harm the bees. No, but that's not what it means. Vegan just means that it doesn't come from animals. Okay? Anyway, is poop vegan? Just curious. Eat it and find out. How would that help? Actually, most of what you expect from your body is dead bacteria, so not vegan. Well, fuck. That's great. It's an animal product, so no. I think it falls into the same class as dumpster diving. It may technically contain meat animal product, but seeing as it's waste being discarded, eating it doesn't contribute to the production of the meat animal product, and such causes no harm to the animals. I guess so the conclusion is that it depends on your definition of veganism. Poop can technically be vegan if the animal abandons it. It's free reign. So you mean that if the animal abandons its poo, like we tend to do, who the fuck carries its poo around? I mean, except for those poo beetles. So if you eat the poo that one of those dung beetles is balling up, then it's not vegan. So per this definition, if you eat poo that has been abandoned, it's vegan. But if you eat the poo that's being rolled around by a dung beetle, it's not vegan because you're stealing something that an animal is utilizing. So then it's not vegan. But if an animal abandons a carcass and you eat it, yeah, I don't think anyone would argue that like vultures are vegan, right? I'm not sure if I agree with this definition. It's not really cooking. First stream I caught, because time zones. Welcome in, you joined at the worst time. Likewise, with hens who abandon do not fertilize their eggs. It's acceptable to consume those eggs. But this is more like moral veganism, okay? Fuck! It's not vegan to consume eggs, especially not vegan to buy food. Okay, let me. Is using manure vegan? The manure that is used breaks down into various soil components that feeds the plants through chemistry. By the end product, a vegetable or fruit cannot be an animal byproduct because it contains no animal part or substance. It's vegan no matter what kind of soil it grows in. Okay, but per this argument, this is on Quora. Alright? So this means that poo would not be vegan because we're arguing that the plant, you know, it's not an animal product because it turns into dirt, which then turns into plant, and the plant must be vegan. Otherwise, it would imply that every single plant we eat is not vegan because it was grown in poo, and poo comes from animals, so everything is not vegan. But that definition would be pretty fucky, so I guess that means that poo itself is not vegan. But when it gets dirtified enough, then it is vegan. Right? Is this the conclusion we're coming to? I think there is no simple answer to this. If I understand one co-vegan object to meat eating, then we should not kill animals to eat them, since we can eat plants instead. But using manure from animals does them zero harm, unless you start breeding fuckloads of animals simply to produce more shit. So in that aspect, I can't see how it would matter to vegans if manure was the fertilizer used to grow their food. Another side of vegan view seems to be how food animals are treated. I think they deserve that. But what about shit animals? What if you make like giant, horrible farm factories like you have with meat, but instead you have it for poo? What about that? But if you leave a dead animal to rot, it eventually becomes dirt. Chat, is oil vegan? Is gasoline vegan? Because it technically used to be like dinosaurs and shit. Is gasoline vegan? You're fueling your car with dead, exploding dinosaurs. Is gasoline vegan, Chad? Definitely. You don't think gasoline is vegan? Oil is made from olives, so maybe. Your car runs on olive oil. Fuck, that's pretty based. Dead exploding dinosaurs. That's basically petroleum, right? That's basically gasoline. So don't eat gasoline, but it has so many calories. It just has so many calories, though. Okay? It's just great. So, in Human Centipede, are the second and third people considered vegan? But it still comes from an animal, right? Petroleum comes from ancient dead plants. Ah, so then it's vegan. Unless those ancient dead plants were grown in dinosaur manure. Because then the dinosaur manure wouldn't have been vegan. And then, even though the plants are the stuff that turns into gas, exploding dead plants. They were grown in shit, and shit is not vegan. Yeah? Can vegans hear manure frequencies? What did I miss? I just got here. Ooh. What is the frequency of veganism? What is the frequencies of poop? These are the real questions, Chad. These are the real fucking questions. Can we talk about literally anything else, please? What, you don't like our tangent asking if shit is vegan? Why not? This is science. You hate science? Ignoramus. My brothers used to have extreme vegan friends who would only wear food that fell off trees naturally. Why are they wearing their food? They rarely even ate things from the store. He and his GFs looked like they were dead. I guess, like, eat food that fell off trees naturally? Yeah, but that's like, past the point of, like, veganism. Now you're just an idiot, It's like fruit trees grows fruit with the fucking purpose of being eaten. Because the whole mechanical point of it is that the seeds are hard. So when you shit, they get natural manure, which could argue isn't vegan then because poop isn't vegan. So non-vegan poop, and the seeds are left in it because you ate the fruit, right? That's like the whole point of fruit trees. Okay, so they actually want you to munch them. I mean, granted that you also shit outside. So, with this logic, you can tell them, okay, you can tell these extreme vegan friends that it's vegan to eat fruit off the tree if you shit in the forest, because then you spread the seeds as the tree intended. Okay, but if you shit in your toilet, it's not vegan, because then the seeds are wasted. So shit in the forest. Shitting in the forest is vegan. Peak vegan. Do you have any gaycation plans this summer? A little bit of gaycation plans, yeah. A little bit of sun and stuff. We'll see how it goes. Thank you so much for the 2. First click stream in my new home, and I join where we'll talk about poo frequencies. It seems to be about on par. Eat. Correction. Ah, yes, I figured as much. Thank you so much, and thank you so much for the 5, Corgi. It's about on par with our normal conversations. Flibbity Gibbet, thank you so much for the 10. True vegans can't use cell phones or computers because computers of the screens come from bovine byproducts. Oh, shit. That's, ooh, damn. Damn, that's pretty, damn. No, don't tell people to shit in the forest, but ultimate veganism. Ultimate eat trees and shit. Okay? Does the poo we produce contain meat or not? That's a good question. I'm not a doctor. I'm certainly not a poo doctor. If cannibalism can be ethically vegan, breast milk is as well. So is honey. So are reindeer antlers that have been abandoned in the forest. Why are you eating reindeer antlers? Cannibalism can be ethically vegan. Okay, but when did we argue that cannibalism is ethically vegan? Do you mean that if like your friend dies, you wake up in the morning after a really bad party and your friend is dead and you're like, man, the body is abandoned anyway, the spirit left it here, so we're just gonna eat it because stuff that has been abandoned, like antlers and poop, is now vegan per moral definition, so we can eat this child that was abandoned. Yeah. I'm not sure how that would hold up in court, man. I'm not sure how that would hold up in court. Stupid autocorrect. True vegans can't use anything made from iron or steel because most iron comes from ancient billions-year-old bacteria. Oh, there you go. Bacteria. The one true poo. Are gaycations vegan? Certainly fucking not. There is a lot of meat munching on gaycations, alright? It's a lot of meat munching on gaycations. They are very not vegan, alright? I don't think anyone is claiming that. This is so exhausting. Good night. A guy ate his amputated foot. He has a Reddit post. Is that what you mean by ethical cannibalism? I mean, but then you're just eating yourself. I was wondering if they used yeast. Wake me up when this controversy is settled. Meat munching is consensual in gaycation, so it's vegan. Oh, so you mean that if you have a cow that really wants to die, then it's vegan. So we should just breed suicidal cows, and then it's gonna be vegan. Is that what you're telling me? Based on the gaycation science of veganism, that seems to be where this is heading. Right? Am I following this logic correctly? Weren't we on Reddit? I don't know where we are now, man. How about the next post, huh? Is the air vegan? It was probably exhaled by dinosaurs. This turned into a wild stream. It's because we just got sick of everything being AI generated and trash. Ooh, am I the butthole for refusing to give my mom a hug on Mother's Day? Beep boop, I'm AI. I14F am not robot. I hate hugging people, or being touched in general. I've always been like this. It's always been non-negotiable, except when it's vegan poop. Bacteria are not animals, but are different kingdom. In yeast is either fungi, also not. Okay, so it's vegan to eat bacteria. We just have to breed really big bacteria, and then we can make bacteria steaks, and it's vegan. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy has a book that talks about the animal giving consent to be eaten. Hell yeah! You see what I mean? Consenting cows and you're vegan. Click talking about poo and cannibalism, me who grew up dressing... Nice. Hell yeah. I have also been very open about this to my entire family. Recently, my mother, who's usually very respectful of the rule, declared that I need to give her a hug on her birthday and Mother's Day. I absolutely understand those are important days for her, but I can't get past the chilling fear at the thought of being hugged. Today is Mother's Day, and of course my mom tried to give me a hug. I ran away to my room, though, and pleaded for her not to. She tried anyways, and got me for a second before I broke free. She asked me why I wouldn't, and I explained once again I don't like being hugged. I know that. That's why I don't do it often, was her response. I kind of want to do like, I kind of want to add like horror music to this one. And yes, she's right. She never does it, just asked for those 2 days, but it still makes me uncomfortable. Have you talked to someone about this? Like there's one thing to be like touch avoidant, you know, and there's one thing to like running in fear when your mom wants to give you a slightly awkward hug for Mother's Day. Have you talked to someone about this? This doesn't sound good, man. Mom has to respect boundaries. I mean, yeah, but that's not the main issue I'm concerned about even. Like, the main issue is, like, has anyone let this kid talk to someone about this? You know? Like, damn. Consent is important. Of course it is. Like, I'm not saying the mom should forcefully hug the child. But she left looking really sad, and now I feel like a complete butthole, in addition to my dad and sister calling me a butthole. So am I the butthole? Well, no. I mean, I can understand why the mom would be sad about it. But if it's that big of a deal to you, she still shouldn't do it. You know? It just sounds like that kind of situation that's always going to leave someone sad. But you shouldn't feel bad about it if it's that big of a boundary. I'd like to say I've already been recommended therapy for other issues. When that will happen, I don't know. I would also like to clarify that being hugged or touched in general give me really bad panic attacks, so I try to avoid it as much as possible. This started when I was around 10, and it got worse as the years went on. When I do start therapy, I'll talk to my therapist about what to do about this. Talked to my mom in the car and suggested that instead of hugging, she could give me high fives or fist bumps. She said no, though, and said they weren't the same as hugging. My dad, on the other hand, accepts the idea and thankfully doesn't surprise hug me anymore. Yeah, that seems like a dad thing to do. He's fine with fist bumps. I don't know what to do anymore. I love my mom, and I love spending time with her. I just don't want her to hate me because she and no one else can hug me. Yeah, I'd suggest seek professional therapy and break down your fears about touching, hugging. Yeah, like being touch-averse, I've heard about, definitely. Like, it's fine, but to this extent sounds bad. It's called habophobia. I have that. I'm working on it. My PhD thesis subject is try to make gigantic yeast cells. Oh, fuck yeah. Yeast beefs, hell yeah. Is the next post about frequencies? This is just very sad. Yeah, this sounds high fives and fist bumps are a good compromise. I agree, and I'm really happy to hear that the dad took up on the fist bump compromise. Hell yeah. It has to be a trauma response or something. I have no idea. I'm not a professional. I know there are quite a few things that can lead to being like touch averse, but this sounds like a very intense case. So this sounds like, I don't know, how should I put it? The issue regarding Mother's Day seems to like be but a minor symptom of something that is a way bigger thing, you know? So I want to say the main point of this isn't to like call anyone a butthole or not. The main point of this is that you should probably talk to someone professionally and try to make sense of it, you know, so you understand yourself better, or if something you should work on, or if it's something who you just are, or, you know, whatever it is. But it sounds very intense. Could be many things. Trauma, OCD, neurodivergence, probably way more too. Yeah, and that's what I mean. It's like impossible to say what it could be by just that. OP needs help, but she's not going to overcome this by being chased down for hugs. Mom is making it worse. Oh yeah, definitely. Mom should just accept fist bumps until maybe in the future it's, you know, easier. I was like that. I managed to resolve my issues with it with a lot of therapy. Yeah, that's probably be the first step. I think the Mother's Day hug is like the last of the concerns in this case. But speaking of being vegan, going to bed is very vegan. Don't poo in the bed, even though that could be argued is also vegan. With that, thank you so much for showing up for this stream, you wonderful, beautiful beings. And I do hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Thank you so much for partaking in the discussions today and super chats and all that kind of jazz. You have been amazing. And I hope to see you again in the very near future. Take care, you wonderful little beings. Mwah.